You know what?
What's your student email password?
It's embarrassing. I don't feel like it. It was love to too.
I knew it wasn't like that, but I know what you the numbers. I'm just trying to pull up the department.
It's my fault? Oh, no, couldn't do it.
Kevin, what company are you presenting on? Cell.
For Cell,
Yeah.
Bristol Myers Squibb.
Okay, so I just put all that stuff.
I'm gonna do Microsoft.
Alright. I'm waiting for the other Kevin to come. What was his, do you remember his company? What his cell company was? You think you want to present with Morris?
Yeah, I'll be in.
Okay. I'm just trying to pull everything in order. This one, correct? Bristol Myers Group or Bristol?
Bristol Myers Squibb.
Group? Okay.
I'll take one. Start on fine. I'll get you. Put it right here. Here we go. Yes. It's the first one.
Okay.
There you go. Next, you want all the companies?
Oh, no, because I'm trying to, do you remember which one Dashay did for herself? Exxon?
Yes.
Okay. I was trying to figure out if that was a buy or a sell.
Exxon's a buy.
Okay. Exxon was a buy?
Yes.
Okay,
The
so,
two ingredients pulled up for cells.
okay, I'm trying to figure out what Dashay sold with one of her sub companies, because she's gonna do a sell too.
They had Johnson, that's the last one.
That was a buy. I have it on my phone.
Can you check how far
Yeah.
are they, what's going on? They're still working on it?
What did she send you for sale? Do you remember? All right, I'll pull it up.
Actually, she didn't say that.
Yeah, they,
Oh my gosh.
I would say when you
Keep completely on it.
Huh?
She didn't say that.
Man, that's fine.
Tell them I'm not wait too long. Come fast. It's not wasting time for everybody.
That's okay, DJ.
I did, we did. We got a whole group chat. We got a whole group chat. They should be on right now.
Oh, she did Lancaster.
Is it a team presentation?
And you're doing Microsoft and I'm yours doing business.
You mark it.
No, they are coming. I know Dashay was waiting for Zamir. Yeah. Kevin and Zamir work together.
JD, while they are coming, that's, I think you want to talk in general something, and then once they come, we can do proper presentation. Do you want to start something?
Give me 1 second. I'm trying to pull up the Morningstar reports first.
Okay. So let's start with this then. You see all of you that we have guests here to observe your hard work. So I would like my dean, Dr. Omar Jokum, to introduce the guests or observers to you, all of you here. Okay, so Dr. Omar, would you please do this honor for them?
It's the first. Oh. Okay. Yes. Yes, you may.
Yeah, good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for coming. We have, I revert to Mr. Bob Turner, our mentor in this program. Dr. Turner has served the university in various capacities. The last position he was in before he retired was the Chief Operating Officer of Virginia State University. Dr. Turner is currently the president of the VSU Foundation, and he has been very supportive of this program. Without him, we will not even be able to do what we are doing today. He linked us with the Scott Trade company that is actually helping us to manage this portfolio, and took me and Dr. Sharma to Scott Trade office in Midlothian to sign some paper, make sure things go smoothly. And I'm surprised that he could even make it this morning. Thank you, sir, for all you do for us. We appreciate you. We also have Professor Bernard, who has been here for many, many years, too, an accounting professor for us, and came back and did some teaching for us. He has been so supportive. He has given a lot to this university. I don't want to go into the private ones. I can tell you how much he has given. His property, his money, and his family has worked so hard for the university. And he's also here with us this morning. We have the money man. I call him the financial one. He's always here in this building. Mr. Nottingham is sitting at the back there. He is very supportive of us, and we thank you, sir, for coming this morning to listen to our students. We have some presentations. This semester we have several courses in which we were trying to bring in our students into understanding, knowing how to really create good and productive and what do I call it? Productive and successful investment portfolios. Our students have gone to visit Wall Street this semester, but this is smallest of the 3 or 4 classes we are going through this semester, because these ones are seniors. They are graduating seniors, so that's why the class is very small. So without wasting any time, I would like to give it to Dr. Sharma, who will now continue to guide the students and their presentation. Thank you so much for coming.
So again, now let's start the rule of the game, okay? So JD and Kevin, Darius, all 6 of you, whatever way you have decided, because, at the end of the semester, I told you that this is a group, effort. You have decided which companies to buy, you decided which companies to sell out of the portfolio we were given, by Mr. Wood. So please try to be brief, because we have to complete as best we can. I know you have done several times, but this is the formal presentation. I will not interrupt you at all today, because today is your day, but try to explain as best you can, okay? And whoever is comfortable, come first, and give a good overview what you have learned so far, okay? Anything else you want me to talk to you before?
Can I just talk to them that just walked in?
Yeah, you can talk to them, but yeah, you can talk to them and do that. Okay. And don't be nervous at all. Everybody here to support, to help.
And I already put
Nobody is coming.
Oh, we have to.
Don't be nervous.
Yeah, but it's, because I told him this making sense. This making sense.
No. One by the woman.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
I got it. So I'm doing it by
You're doing a cell.
the hoop sheet.
She's doing a cell.
Body.
You're doing a cell. All 3 of us are doing a cell.
So y'all do
Yeah.
So, as I meant, doing the body.
Okay, use morning star as much as you want, but stand in the side, because recording will be in this corner. Because our screen is not working, so that's why you have to stay over there when you talk, so that picture will be from, back of the. Right.
First part of the conference first.
like we don't run out of time.
Yeah.
So we gonna explain this.
I mean, Zamir, Kevin.
Six of us are standing. Come on, Kevin. Come on, Kevin.
You ready?
Yeah.
Good.
John, ready?
Hey, don't do
Make sure the camera is, you facing the camera, okay? Those who are
Yeah.
talking right now.
The camera's right here. So,
You want to put the camera in before you
switch
get
sides.
I think Mr. Young has set up a camera already.
It's right there.
Yeah, but it's picking the people.
But
But the other one don't understand.
whoever is talking goes there,
It's
so
not
that
sitting in the corner.
we don't want to display this, because it's not working, the screen, is not coming down. Don't try to turn it or anything. So stay here, whoever is there will be recorded. You can see from there, no?
Yeah, I can see this.
No problem.
Can somebody,
Okay.
thanks. So good morning, everyone. My name is JD Gordon.
I'm Dasha Campbell.
Samir Batts. Kevin Purdue.
Darius Ball, Kevin Carter.
Okay, and we
Is this
are,
place? There's this.
yeah,
Y'all got it?
and we are in charge of the student managed investment run portfolio. Next slide, please. So what does it mean to invest? Investing is the act of committing money or capital to an endeavor with the expectation of obtaining additional income or profit. And what is the student managed investment portfolio? The student managed investment portfolio is just a portfolio donated to Virginia State University's finance minor by Mr. Wood, so that students could just have that hands-on experience in the finance world. It is made up of about 30 plus companies that are publicly traded on the stock market, in the US stock market. Some key ratios that we learned in this class that are geared towards investing when you look to invest into a company is the price to equity, the PEG ratio, the price to sales, price to book, dividend yield, dividend payout, return on assets, return on equity. Next. Debt to equity, interest coverage ratio, asset turnover, inventory turnover, and then the beta. It's not listed up there. Okay, so from the companies to sell, we were given about 30 companies this semester, and we chose 10 firstly on to diversify his portfolio, and then 2 on their ratios. And then based on their ratios. So Kevin, Dashe, and Kevin Carter will be presenting on 3 companies that we chose us to present today as to why we chose to sell them.
I can start. One of the companies that we decided to sell was Lancaster, which had a beta of 0.9, a PEG ratio.
Pull it up. You can pull it up.
Yeah, the Morningstar. So I'll click right here. You just gotta figure out
Which one?
Yeah.
We don't need that.
There it is.
Alright, you can go there.
Oh, sure. So for this company, we chose to sell. It had a beta of 0.9. That was yesterday. I'm sure it's the same today. The PEG ratio was 4.5. The PEG payback was 16 years. So in 16 years, you are able to double your money. Anything over 10 is not that great, but it did have a PEG payout, PEG payout of 16 years. Their PE ratio was 30. It didn't have a debt to equity ratio when I looked. The return on assets was 17.9, and then return on equity was 22.5. And those were the first key ratios I looked at. And then the next ones that weren't so great was a price to book of 7.1 and a price to sell of 3.2. So we decided to sell this company because it has a relatively high price to earnings ratio. It's in the green on here. It's 25.6, but that's why we decided to sell this company. because of their price to earnings ratio. And then I can talk a little bit about the price to book, price to sales, price to cash flow, and dividend yield are all in the red, which means they are not as great relative to their market. So it has a 6, and the market is, or the industry is a 3. So that's why the price to book is in the red, because it's nearly twice the amount of the industry average. The price to sell is 2.8. The industry is 2. That's also why that one was red. And then price to cash flow, dividend yield, it doesn't have a price to fair value in the industry or in the company. And that was why we decided to sell, because most of the ratios or the valuations that you see here, the price to books, price to sales, they're all in the red. And that's not a company that we want in our stock portfolio.
All right, good morning, everybody. Kevin Purnell. The reason why I'm choosing to sell Bristol Myers Squibb is mainly because on paper this is a good-looking stock, but in general it's just outdated and it needs to be put out so we can put a fresh, more profitable stock in this portfolio. So just give a little background on the company. Bristol Myers Squibb is a medical company that distributes biopharmaceuticals, and that's pretty much their whole market output. It's just the biopharmaceutical sector. So the first reason why I wanted to sell this company is the price to book. Now, as you can see right here, the stock has a level of 6.4 for the price to book, which is the industry average is a 4.2. This will show you that this company is overvalued. Whenever that's inflated, it's overvalued. So this means you may pay more per share than what you actually should be paying. One of the next things that I found that negatively affected this stock was the price to sales. Now, once again, I mean, the price to sales was 4.7. The industry average was 3.9. This shows that this company is once again overvalued. So this is 2 instances on that this company is overvalued, and which means you're paying more per share, which you need to be paying. Could you please go to the valuation ratios, please?
Yes.
All right. So as we covered before, price to book, price to sales, both overvalued. One of the next things that need to be taken a look at is price to cash flow. This just shows that this company has 23.8 compared to the industry average of 16.7. So their cash flow compared to their price is definitely overvalued. Next, dividend yield percentage. They're paying out 2.8 when it comes to dividend yield compared to the industry average, which is 3.3. So they're behind when it comes to dividend yield also. So like I said, even though this has...
Although I decided not to interrupt, but I'm sorry to interrupt here. Price to earning ratio is a green. The green is good. So price to earning ratio is not bad. So please be mindful when you say that the company price to earning is better. Okay? So you have said 2-3 times that price to earning is overvalued. So that's why I interrupted you. I did not teach you that. Price to earning is green. It is good. That's in the market. That's in the market. So I want to correct you. Okay?
No. As I iterated, I was talking about price to book and price to sales.
Yeah, but price to earning is really, yeah.
Well, yeah, price to earning is fine.
Yeah. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, price to earning is green, which is good, but at the same time, when you have that, but you take a look at your price to book and sales,
Okay.
your price to earning can be green, but if this company is overvalued, then why are you in it? Quite simply.
Go ahead, no problem. I just wanted to know.
Yeah, that's pretty much all I have.
Good job. Alright, well, I had Philip Morris. This is a company that, manufactures and sells cigarettes. And the reason why I said to sell the company, as you see, as far as the key stats, the price to earnings is a lot higher than the industry, 24 compared to 14, which means it's completely overvalued. They don't have a price to book, but price to sales is a little bit higher than the industry. Like I said again, overvalued. Operating margin percentage, as far as the operations, they aren't performing as well as far as operations compared to the industry, which is 40.3 compared to 69.1. And the net margin percentage is also a lot less than the industry average, which is 26.3. The return on assets, they aren't using, as far as the industry average, they aren't using their assets as efficient as the industry. And also, if we look at analyst opinion over here, the Wall Street recommendation on the side. A lot of them say to get out of this company, and it also isn't much of an expected growth. As far as what analysts think, they don't think this company has much growth. I think the 5-year growth, if you go to 5-year growth forecast, what else? Well, PEG payback, I can hit on that. PEG payback, it takes 14 years for you just to double your money, which is a pretty long time just to double it. Have a PEG ratio of 4.3, and a forward PE of 22.5, which isn't good because you want your PE to be around 20 or less. And then, you know the 5-year forecast? I think it might be on the analyst. It's on the analyst opinion. Yeah. Down at the bottom. Yeah, right. Alright, see the 5-year growth forecast of only 5%. So their growth over the next 5 years is only 5%, which isn't too good. And analysts say, 3 analysts say to hold it right now, and 1 say it's underperformance. And the reason why I say to basically, what was it? Oh, the reason why I say to get out of this company is because, like I said, as far as the operations and everything put into play, the return on assets, return on that type of things, like they aren't performing as efficient as the industry average. And I think you should get out of this because a lot of people are starting to quit smoking. And also, I looked at their first quarter earnings, in which it was a lot less because of shipments. Cigarette shipments have went downhill over the past couple months, which is causing this company to go downhill. So that's pretty much it.
Okay, and then we chose 10 companies to buy, and this was based off of a lot of innovation in these companies and what they're doing in the market now, what they have been doing over the past years. So our cell companies, Microsoft was one of them.
How y'all doing today? I'm Darius Vaughn. And one of the companies that I really think you should look into and buy is Microsoft. Okay? Microsoft is basically, as you know, is one best known for Windows operating systems. Everybody knows that's good for gaming, security, all that good stuff when it comes to technology. When I say you should buy into Microsoft because it has a very bright future, as the 5-year forecast is 10.6%, and that's high. Most of all the companies that came up to buy was 10.6 5-year forecast, 10.6%. As you can tell, everybody's saying buy this company. All the analysts are saying buy this company. It's outperforming, and 2 people say hold. But as of right now, you're telling me to buy this company. And the future of this company is great. It's about to partner with Intel. Basically, Intel is focused on mixed reality, and it's an extra gaming and security system. So basically, it's going to improve government approval in China, and it's also government approval in India. So as of right now, Microsoft is in high demand, and you can say it's 4-star rating on Morningstar, and the dividend earning is only 0.8. For people that don't know what dividend earning is, it's basically a payment made by the corporation, and the earnings coming back to it, basically, just to sum it up. As you can tell right here, the revenue growth in 3 years, 3.1, the industry average is 2.5. Yes, the price to earnings is in the red, but it's close to the industry average. Okay? And then you got the price to book 7.7 over 5.5. Yeah, that's not so good, but it will get better. You got price to sell 6.2 over 5.5. Okay? But then you got the revenue, revenue of assets trailing 12 months. Return on assets trailing 12 months is 8.8 out of 7.7 out of the industry average, and return on equity on trailing 12 months is 24.7 over. You know, the industry average is 19.7. So as you can tell right now, Microsoft is in high demand, and that's one of the companies I really think you should look into because the future is bright. Once it partners with Intel, it's going to skyrocket. it's gonna be too late. So I feel like you should look into Microsoft and buy that company.
Very good. All right. Thank you.
Your last slide is
Oh.
So our next company that we looked into buying is Google. Well, they're known in the market as Alphabet. And just because Google is taking over, it was just a browser, but now it's everything. Google owns Android, Google owns YouTube. They do a lot with advertising and a lot of things on the internet in a sense. So they are a budding company and a company that is based on innovation. They are here to innovate from 10 years ago to 10 years in the future. Their price to earnings is 32.9 with the industry average of a 35.5, and they're doing relatively good in their industry. Their return on assets is a 12.4, and within their industry, a higher ROA is much better than a lower one, and they're doing great for their industry. They have no debt to equity, is not listed, so we just said they have 0 debt to equity, which is great. You don't want to have any debt, any sort of debt. Can you go to the PEG payback? Okay, their PEG payback is 8.8, and you want to have a PEG payback of under 10 years, so they're right on that target market right there, right on that 8.8. Their PEG ratio is a 1.3. You want something in the 1 or lower, but 1.3 is not bad for a company that is right now innovating within the market. And their forward price to earnings is a 22.7, and relative to the S&P 500 industry, they're doing very well. And Google is really budding. If you just type in, if you Google, that's funny. but seriously, if you like Google, you'll see that their company is really like taking off. Like they own all of YouTube, and YouTube has so many entities within it right now. Like a lot of people just know YouTube as, you find a video, but no, YouTube is like becoming the next Netflix. This is one of the companies that we chose. Next company.
So Disney, as if you don't know, is an entertainment company, and also they have acquired ESPN and ABC. So therefore, Disney is in a lot of multi-industries, in a lot of different industries, and they perform, as you can see, greatly. Their price to earnings, which you would like to be closer to 20, is 20.6, and it's doing better than the industry average of 22. The price to book is 4.2, and it's also performing well, better than the industry. The only key stat that is not doing well, better than the industry, is the price to sales, which is not doing that bad. It's only doing 0.8 from the industry average, so it's not too much to worry about. But everything else, as you can see on the chart, is green. The revenue growth is 7.3, which is double the industry average. So they're expecting in the next 3 years to double their growth, better than the industry average. Their return on assets is 9.9, which is also better than industry average, and they use less debt to finance their projects than any other company in their industry. Can you go? Oh yeah. Oh, also looking at the price to earnings. If you scroll up a little bit, JD, to look at the forward PE, their PE is lower than their actual price to earnings that they have right now, meaning that they're planning to be more valued in the future. The 52 range out is $9, and if you bought it at the beginning and sold it right now at the highest point that it was of the year, then you would have probably made like a good 20. I want to say about 20% of increase in wealth. You can go to your valuations. So your PEG ratio, you would like it to be closer to 1, if possible, but right now it's performing well compared to the market, so you're not really too worried about that. Your dividend yield is performing better than the market, but we would definitely like to have a larger dividend yield so you can have a bigger return on your money. Your PEG payback, which explains how much time it's going to take to double your revenue, double the money that you invested in the market, is 11.4. We would like it to be under 10 years, but right now, because Disney is performing so well, we would definitely buy it and like to invest in it, because it's an investment in a company that's been doing well consistently. Lastly, Morningstar has rated Disney 4 stars out of 5, and most analysts are saying to buy Disney, so that's definitely great reasons to acquire Disney as a stock.
Thanks for the analyst opinion.
There you go.
So 5 are saying to buy, 2 is saying to hold, and one company is saying it's outperformed. So definitely, and 1 is saying to sell as well. So
Do not forget to display the most important. This is an actual opinion, one of the most important slide. Don't forget it.
okay.
Thank you.
Any questions?
That's all.
Just a process question, like, you're buying and selling your 10 companies. Did y'all do that at the beginning, or, I guess, where in the semester did you actually sell? The reason I'm asking that question is I want to ask, what was the value of the portfolio when you started, and where is it now after the transaction?
Let me answer this question on behalf of my students.
Okay.
It's the first time we are starting, and you need to train them first before they make a decision. So we decided that let them, I'm very pleased what they have done, and now we will put the trades. Sell 10 companies out of the portfolio, whatever we inherited, those companies, and buy 10 more. What they are suggesting. So the idea, I thought that let me do in twice in a semester, but because of that we are struggling for a lot of starting things, how to manage it, how to do it, and getting everybody together. So we thought let them be more proficient before I put a trade. So I'm very comfortable now the way they are talking. Most of them they are talking the right things, and they are demonstrating.